Yes, mate, so how's it going? My name's Lee, and welcome back to the FPL Punk YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be taking a look at players for Game Week 21. These include transfer targets you might want to buy, out of form players you might want to sell, and even some players you're not sure what to do with, and the best decision is just to wait and see. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe down below for more FPL content. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
Get strong.
Right, mates, first up, and the only defender to make the video is Daniel Munoz. Plays for Crystal Palace, 4.7 million, 4.7% owned, 19 appearances so far in the league. I've recorded this after the Chelsea game where they drew 1-1. Crystal Palace have kept 4 clean sheets, and Daniel Munoz has been involved in 4 goals so far this season. He got a total of 61 points. Some of his key stats per 90 over the last few game weeks, so between game weeks 15 and game week 20. Crystal Palace are conceding 1.32 goals per 90, and that's kind of in line with their expected goals conceded around that time as well. So I think the data is kind of pretty consistent from that point of view. They'll keep some clean sheets, but it's kind of a bit erratic more than anything. His XG is crazy high for a defender, 0.25. That's kind of like midfielder kind of rate. That's so high, but he offers great goal threat, but kind of almost nothing from a creativity point of view with his expected assist down at 0.06. So assists are really low. He gets massive chances every single game. He's just a terrible finisher because he's a defender. So he ends up missing quite a lot of chances. So his XG is huge at 0.25. His fixtures are great. I've got him down as a buy. I think he's the only defender or the only kind of like real consideration you could have down as a buy. You could maybe look at some of his teammates. I like Shalaba at 4.3. I think he's quite a good pickup. Tyreek Mitchell as well. He's kind of around the same price, 4.7, 4.8. I don't mind some of the Fulham boys. I don't mind Robinson. His price is kind of going up steadily now. I don't mind Anderson at 4.2, 4.3. Castagne. Again, I've not included any of those in the video just because I think there's only one real option to buy for Game Week 21, and that is Daniel Munoz. But I think if you've already got Munoz and you want to look at a secondary cheap defender, you could go Crystal Palace and pick any of the names that I mentioned. Shalaba, you could look at some Fulham players. I think Brighton have got some decent fixtures, but I don't trust them from a defensive point of view. So I think there's only really Crystal Palace and Fulham that I'd be looking at buying. And they've got some good fixtures coming up as well, Crystal Palace, with Leicester in 21, and he's predicted to get 4.2 points in that game. West Ham away. And the only thing I don't like about Crystal Palace is that they've got back-to-back away games. In game week 23, they're at home to Brentford. I think it's a good game for them, where he's predicted to get 4.5 points. Man United away, and we've seen how bad United have been over the last few weeks. I can see Palace getting something from this game if it was played in game week 21. Hopefully United have done something by 24, but we just don't know. And then in game week 25, just another great fixture again. And he's got Everton at home, predicted to get 4.8 points. I think if you are looking to downgrade anybody, or you want to look at a defender around this price point, I think he's probably on par with someone like a Lewis Hall. I think he's better than some of the other ones. I'd probably prefer him over someone like an Anthony Robinson. I just think Crystal Palace have got better fixtures, and he's so attacking that if he does get a goal, he's probably going to be he's going to be quite high in the bonus as well. That's the reason why I really like him. Daniel Munoz, the only defender I'm considering buying for game week 21. Let's take a look at another Crystal Palace player, Ismaila Sarr, 5.9 million midfielder, 5.2% owned, and he's in that kind of weird scale of like, is it a wait and see, is it a buy? It just is. His underlying data is like, it's just so good per 90, so that's kind of what makes me want to lean more towards the buy side of things. He's made 20 appearances so far in the league with 13 starts, 7 of those coming off the bench. However, he's started the last 10 or so I think his minutes are pretty secure. 4 goals, 3 assists, total of 57 points so far in FPL. Some of his key stats per 90, particularly over the last few game weeks, are pretty good, to be honest. And just his general positioning on the pitch, like he's almost playing alongside Mateta up front, and you tend to get Eze dropping into the number 10, but like it feels like Sarr's more the one that's pushing forward out of those two. It's like his shots and key passes are pretty good per 90 over the last few game weeks, where he's getting 3.1 shots per 90, 1.66 key passes. XG is really good at 0.42, and his expected assist is around 0.25. I think they're all pretty good underlying data. He's not performed well in terms of picking up points in the last few game weeks, but I think he's got a great run of games there now, where I think for his price point, you're probably not expecting returns every single week. And I don't think there's many good options around that price point. I feel Morgan Rogers is ticking along nicely. Enzo's dropped off due to kind of positioning reasons. We'll take another look and we'll take a look at a player in a moment, like who's also in that cheaper bracket. But I think there's nothing wrong with holding Ismaila Sarr. I probably wouldn't go out and buy him right now, like not unless you really want a Crystal Palace midfielder. I think if you've got the likes of maybe someone like an Eze or Mateta, I don't know if I'd rush out and get another Crystal Palace attacker. But I think if you're looking for someone and you think they can capitalise on these fixtures where, like I've already said, Leicester, West Ham, Brentford, Man United, Everton, like it's a nice run of games. Like if you think Sarr's going to do well in this run, go for it. Moving on right down to budget midfielder, Jacob Murphy, 5.1 million, 5.1% owned, 17 appearances so far in the league. 3 of those coming off the bench, so he made 14 starts with 3 goals, 7 assists. He started quite a lot of games in like the past 7 or 8. He started those. I just think it's a good option, mate. Like 69 points so far, nice, great score to be on. His underlying data is just great. He's getting shots, he's getting key passes. His XG is really good at 0.31. Expected assists of 0.39. Still getting 5.1 points per match. Just, yeah, I really want to say like go out and buy him, but for me it's still kind of like a wait and see. Like if I could pick any Newcastle players, Isak's obviously number 1, Gordon's number 2, Hull's 3, Murphy's probably 4 or 5. I'm sure you could probably put like Dubravka in there as well, like depending on the injury status of someone like Pope. I'm just put off by him just because I know what kind of player he is, and he has blanked in the past. He's just in a good run of form right now, and I think he's a great short-term option. As long as he keeps starting and as long as he keeps playing, I think he'll continue to pick up points. And I don't think he'll get mega hauls and all this over this run, but can I see him returning in game week 21 at home to Wolves, where he's predicted to get 4.5 points? Yeah, probably. Same again, Bournemouth at home in 22, Southampton away in 23, Bournemouth home in 24, and then Man City in 25. Like, decent run of games, to be fair. Like, I think if you're looking for a really budget midfielder, 5.1, I think Murphy's probably the pick. I think if you've got someone like an Enzo Fernandez or Rodgers, I don't think I'd move sideways to go and get Murphy. I think like whoever your budget midfielder is, I'd probably just stick with whoever it is that you've got. And it's just one of those. I think it'd be fine. I think he'll pick up points, but can just stick with whatever budget midfielder you've got, to be honest. There's a recurring theme, mate. So we're going back to Crystal Palace. Eberiche Eze. We have to talk about him, mate. Like, when he's fit and he's firing, he's just unbelievable. He got an assist again today, scored last week. Is he back? Not entirely sure right now. 6.6 million feels a little bit expensive for kind of what he's producing right now. 7.4% owned so far, 15 appearances so far in the league. Has had a couple of injuries over the course of the season, so like he has missed a few games. 2 goals, 3 assists. Been massively underperforming his data over the course of the season. Only 59 points so far. And he's same again, like he feels like kind of like wait, kind of buy, kind of range. If you can get to him, I think I'd prefer Eze over Sarr, just because I feel like he's more talismanic. Bit more kind of consistency and reliable in terms of like his like historical performances, and that's probably why I'd lean more towards Eze. I think if you already own Eze, like you obviously don't sell him because they've got a great run of games coming now. I don't think I'd add any more than that. I went and bought Mateta, and I know though Mateta scored today, kind of wish I'd gone for somebody else instead. I might move the money around or go for some like a Gakpo instead, but that's kind of is what it is. I think Mateta's fine if you own him. I've not included Mateta in the video, but I think if you do own him, I'd just keep him again because they've got great fixtures now to like game week 30 or so. Eze's underlying data is great. Just doesn't seem to be kind of getting actual returns except for the past couple of games. Getting 4.41 shots per 90, which is crazy high. That's huge. 1.47 key passes. He's on some set pieces, probably not on penalties anymore. That's probably gone to Mateta, to be honest. He's actually decent at 0.34. Considering that I consider Eze probably more of a creator, his expected assist is really low at 0.11, and he's only getting 3.5 points per match, but he went through quite a bad spell towards the beginning of the season. Hopefully he can start picking up now. I've owned him since like game week 4, so I've owned him throughout all his injuries. I think I just need to hold him now, and just hopefully his price goes up and I can start to recoup some of the money back. Predicted points is great, kind of ranges from 4.6 to kind of 5.1. I think if you own him, keep him. If you want to buy him and you've got a feeling, go for it. It probably feels a little bit on the riskier side. But yeah, leave a comment down below if you are thinking of buying Eberiche Eze for game week 21. And for the second week in a row, we have to talk about Mbeumo again. 7.7 million midfielder for Brentford, 30.9% owned, and it's still a wait. Like, thought he'd do well against Southampton. He did. He got 2 goals and assists. Got an absolute monster. Was it 19 points in the end? 16 points or so. I think if you did hold him, then great. Yeah, like I think you had to for that. The run of fixtures isn't as bad as it probably looks because a lot of the tough games are at home. But I think if you don't own him, I don't think you can buy him for the next 2 weeks. You can maybe consider him in game week 23 away to Crystal Palace, but yeah, I mean, over the course of the season, like he's done great. 20 appearances, 13 goals, 3 assists, 133 points, massive. I always said like he was a great long-term hold. I think if you did hold him, like, fair play. For me, I just wanted to be a bit more aggressive and try and target those holes from the players. It's probably not worked in the grand scheme of things. I'd make the same play again. That's just kind of FPL player that I am. I like to be a bit more aggressive and kind of force the issue a little bit. His underlying data is not great. I mean, like it's fine. Like, he's still getting around 2 shots per 90 with 2 key passes per 90. XG is high at 0.48, but he has had a penalty today. Probably outside of the Southampton game, it's probably quite low at probably 0.2. Expected assists around 0.3. So like his data is not bad over the last few games, but I think a lot of it is skewed by the Southampton game. Still getting 6.5 points per match, which is crazy. Still predicted to get really good points over the next 5, where he's got Man City at home in 21, Liverpool home in 22, Crystal Palace away in 23, Spurs at home in 24, and West Ham away in game week 25. Kind of range from 4.8 predicted points all the way up to kind of 5.2. I think he'll fine us. I think he'll still get penalties. He'll still get the odd goal. I think he's fine if if you've got him. I think you can play him in the next 5. Probably wouldn't go out and buy him, like I said. I'd probably wait till 23, 25. That's probably a minimum. I think people that do go out and buy him in 21, 22, he's probably gonna score anyway. Let's face it. But I just can't do it when he plays Man City and Liverpool. I was going to include a different forward in the video, and I've only included one, just because I don't think there's a lot of great options out there. But we have to talk about Erling Haaland when he scored a couple of goals today. Is he back? I'm not 100% sure. 14.8 million, which is just so expensive. Obviously forward for Man City, 30.2% owned still after his just really poor run over the last 10 game weeks or so. 20 appearances so far in the league, 16 goals, 1 assist, 120 points. Yeah, like it's great over the course, but a lot of those came in the first 6 game weeks or so where he absolutely smashed it. Key stats per 90. They're not bad, but they're probably quite low for Haaland, to be fair. 2.8 shots per 90, 1.2 key passes, XG of 0.55. He normally ranges from kind of 0.8 to 1 expected goals per 90, so like it is quite low for him. They don't have a bad run coming up. They've got a lot of away games. They've got Brentford away in 21, Ipswich away in 22, Chelsea at home in 23, Arsenal away in 24, and Newcastle at home in game week 25. I think it's one of those with Haaland where I think if you don't own him, you've probably not got a lot of money saved up. You've probably not got the funds to do it in 1 or 2 moves. You probably need to move quite a lot of things around. And so for that, it's probably a wait and see. I think if you can get to him in 1 move, I'm not sure if I'd do it because you're probably going to have to take out Isak to get to Haaland easily. Don't like that move. So then you're looking at one of your budget forwards. You're looking at someone like a Chris Wood or a Solanke or a Mateta, like in my instance. And then you probably got to sell Sarr or Palmer and then somebody else alongside that. Probably a Trent to kind of fund this move. Just feels a little bit messy. I think if you've got him, like you obviously hold him for the next 2 because he plays Brentford and Ipswich. And I think he'll do fine in these games. I can see him scoring probably 1 in each of those, as a minimum. And then he's got Chelsea at home, which is also fine, and to play Haaland at home. And then just kind of reassess it in game week 24. I probably won't go out and buy him. Like I said, it just feels way too unrealistic to go out and get him in 1 or 2 moves. And then I wouldn't take a -8 for him to kind of, especially taking out someone like Isak, who's just absolutely banging form. Yeah, it's tough one with Haaland. Like, I'd love to own him because I think he's going to do quite well over the next few games. I just can't do it I just can't do it easily. So for that, for me, it's just a wait and see. And you don't have to be the first one to get on Haaland. Like it's fine if he does well over the next 2 because the players you own are probably also going to do well over the next 2. Whether that's Palmer, Salah, Isak, and anyone else in between. So is what it is with this one. I think he'll do well. I think all players are going to do well over the next few games, and you might just have to let Haaland just kind of slide and reassess probably after game week 25, game week 26. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. So we looked at some players for game week 21, some players to buy, some to sell, and some to kind of wait and see. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. Have a good day. Peace and love.